this deepest condolence. Until her demise, she was a vice chairperson of the NDC. Thank you, Roland.
Well, so we'll be calling for some inserts, but let me just get some preliminary comments. And it has to be short because I'll play some inserts and then we'll come into the groove and drive. Thank you again, all of you who have joined us this morning. We're grateful. Sakasalia, where were you when this became an issue? Because, of course, the Chronicle published it back on Friday. And then by the close of the evening, she had been trending all over.
Yeah, thank you very much, Roland, and good morning to my good friend, Ediji Tamakulu, to my MPP fraternity, and all viewers of TV3. First of all, I can't even remember where I was, but what I eventually saw was when Facebook was agog with flashes of messages of the stolen dollars and euros. And when I watched, I realized that indeed this was a criminal matter. But as usual, you know, Ghanaians and their emotional attachment to things, the diversion, you know, went straight onto the woman herself. I mean, somebody who was a victim now became the perpetrator. And I was very sad. Very, 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 very sad. And I think that, are we going straight into the matter now? If we are going straight into the matter, then I will just go in.
We can just go in.
Yeah.
While the insert comes.
Okay. Okay. So, I think that what we have in this nation is that almost everything invariably is used as politics. And sometimes even when there are genuine ways, there are people, because of the economic situation that we are in, even me sitting here will not be happy. I mean, look at him wearing a space. I remember when we went to Asenov, some executives of ours were wearing space and it became the talking point.
Some executives of you were doing what?
Were wearing space.
Spectacles.
And people were talking. I mean, look at them. They're wearing expensive spectacles and all those things.
You are belittling the matter.
No, I'm not belittling it.
That's what you're doing.
No, if you take it so, I'm not belittling it at all. I'm making a point. I'm saying that once you are in government, every move of yours is either misconstrued or taken to a different dimension.
Do you think that this has been misconstrued and why?
Oh yeah, I will explain to you. First of all, like I said, this is a woman that lost so much fortune through the fact that he employed certain people to also get livelihood. Now, the people came into her abode, and instead of them to learn something good, they decided to betray her. But you see, it all has to do with the politics that we do in this country. We do politics as if everybody is entitled to what the politician has. Let me give you a story. I mean, a gentleman who is a brother, more or less, came to me for something, and I gave him 50 Ghana cedis. He was angry with me. Campaign politics, MPP power in our language. It's like, meanwhile, I'm not in government. I only speak for government, but I don't have any position in government. But people feel like whatever a politician has, they have their legitimate right to it. Or they even feel that if a politician is even rich before appointment, he should now all of a sudden become poor.
Madam Siladapa was rich before she came.
I'm coming. I'm generalizing it before I launch it to...
No, don't be launching like that. Please go to the issue. No, yeah. This morning, don't do that, please.
Yeah, so I'm saying, people think so. And that is creating problem for everybody. Remember what happened to the MP who was shot and killed by the armed robbers in the central region? Because the armed robbers thought that they are the problem, the politicians are the reason they are suffering.
Wait. Let's take an insert first from Henry Kukofu, who was on Key Point on Saturday, subsequently informed the president, and then a notable comment that is coming from now Dr. Mustafa Hamid when he was in opposition.
Has been occasioned by this couple, Cecilia Dapa and the husband, in this matter. That person has the right to raise any complaint and all that. He spoke about OSP. The law does not say OSP shall. He said may. Shiomoto investigate these matters. So may. That is the key word. If you feel so strongly, petition the OSP or the SRAJ, as he has just said.
I said it, and I'll repeat it again. Those who are coming to this administration thinking that it's an avenue for making a lot of money are going to be disappointed. They better go to the private sector. That is where people make money, not in government.
It's terribly sad. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved. I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian.
Now, Saka.
Yeah.
And you were saying what? Because the president said you don't make money while in government.
Yeah, I mean,
That sort of money should be made while you are in public.
Yes, that's the philosophy of the president.
The private sector, not in public sector.
Exactly. I mean, nobody.
So you're saying that if you're in public office and we raise questions about it, that's okay?
No, what I'm
or
saying,
not okay?
What I'm saying is that as for now, we have not set a probe yet into how she acquired those assets or money. But what I'm saying now is that it's her money. I'm not sure anybody has come to say that the money that you are complaining about does not belong to you. It's her money. And nothing has shown to the contrary. And therefore, if somebody stole your money and you report the person to the police, the person have not counter complained, why would anybody now say that, oh, the money that you are complaining about is our money? And that was the reason why I'm telling you about the fact that we'll come and sit here and everybody will be talking as if a politician gets assets. Why do we have the Asset Declaration Act? If you have an asset, it means that that asset belongs to the people. Politicians themselves have their own assets. I have money in my pocket now. It doesn't belong to anybody. If a thief steals it, I have the right to take the thief to the law. But it depends on sometimes the way that we make the whole thing look like having money is not a reserve of a politician, and every politician, once you become rich, it means that it was acquired through filthy means. I'm saying that Madam Cecilia Dapa, I know her place. That is a testimony. I've been passing there all the time. You get there, you see policemen manning the place. Now, opportunity has been given to certain people. In this case, some women. And they fluff it. And they destroyed it. They destroyed the woman herself. Destroyed everything of her, even including her career. Now she has resigned. She is now about to fight for her image just because she decided to employ one or two people. And people are not even talking about how these people who stole this what do you call them? People who stole this money.
Saka, wrap up.
Yeah. How these people got to know about this money, how they even spend the money. People are not talking about it. Just because somebody is a minister, hey, let's hang her. The money could be gotten. And I was shocked when I realized John Mahama is also weighed into this debate. John Mahama was in power when people are saying that we shouldn't compare Vicky Hammer and this one. I'm telling you, Vicky Hammer one was worse than this. The reason being, let me explain. The reason being, This is a person that was telling, I want to get this.
Just based on mere speculation.
You wait.
Tape recorder.
I want to get this from the people. This one, nobody knows where she got them.
All right.
Nobody knows where she got them. Besides that, you remember Rollins, the complaint Rollins gave some time ago about Kwachi Ofosu.
Rollins never did. I beg.
Rollins did.
Never.
Please.
He
He
never mentioned Kwachi's name.
Okay,
Just for the
he
record.
said,
The man is dead. Don't do
wait.
that.
What did he say?
But
What did he
Ofosu
say?
Kwachi came to
Please,
defend it.
What did he say?
Please, why are
What
you
did he
here?
say?
See,
What did he say? What did Rollins say?
Rollins said that this use of this little
Babies with sharp teeth.
not maybe you search it, little something. He used some
And that they use cash 1.5 million.
1.5 million. He went and took
twice
it,
of that to buy house.
and then the owner of the house.
Did he mention a certain name?
Yeah.
Which name?
Ofosu Kwachi.
He didn't mention.
Oh, please.
He didn't
If he did not, why did
I think the NPP in opposition
why did
then
no,
decided to.
why no Ofosu
based on the description Rollins
Ofosu Kwachi even is on air every time
Rollins didn't mention-
defending what Rollins said.
Rollins didn't mention.
So
his name.
don't do that. Ofosu Kwachi
Rollins
actually
didn't
Oh
mention
please,
his name.
I'm coming.
Why do you want to say?
Wait. Nobody's peddling anything.
That's what
I
you
am saying. Everybody knows it. You just want
Nobody
to,
knows
you
it.
want to play mischief, but the fact is
Nobody
there.
wants to play name is.
Oh,
Rollins didn't
no.
mention Kwachi Fosu's name, and that's the
So
truth.
he mentioned what?
He only said
okay,
two
it's
young
okay.
people.
You know-
they
So
use
how did
1.5
we
million.
know? How did people get to know that it was Ofosu Kwachi?
You know, my brother is doing Zoom live.
No. How did you know?
Okay, you continue.
So I am saying
away.
sometimes these things happen. At the time, Ofosu Kwachi brought the money.
Please. I'll not insist.
Oh,
Stop
okay.
this.
Oh, wait. Let me finish.
No, wrap up on this,
Yeah.
please.
At the time that the person that Rollins was referring to was bringing the money, or it is possible that young men or women in his house could have even stolen the money before the money was brought. Even the man counting the money, it is possible that whilst counting, people could have come onto him and get the money. Remember Obada's Samuel case, where his money was stolen, and about 100 million doses in 1987.
It's 100,000.
Today is about 100,000. I'm saying that people, politicians, and business people and all that, sometimes you might carry money to go and do something and decide that, let me keep it in the house. Okudjoto Ablakwa.
So this money was used to carry
No, I'm
something.
coming. I'm saying Okudjoto Ablakwa. He put money in his car.
How much?
So much money.
No, please. It was 20,000.
So much. No.
They went to the washing.
200,000.
They went to the washing.
200,000 Ghana cedis.
Stop it.
It was stolen. Massa, I'm telling you. So this thing happened. These things happen all the time. So why are you saying that? Because Cecilia Dapa is a minister.
Do you think all the scenarios that you mentioned in the past are wrong?
Well, I mean, it depends on.
It's not what you mean. No. I'm saying, I'm asking you. I'm putting it to you.
Yeah.
Do you think that all the scenarios you mentioned in the past?
It could be wrong on the part of
on
the part of the person.
Or you needed a public probe. Do you think so?
No, you see, it could be wrong.
I'm asking a question.
Listen, the Okudjato one didn't need public probe.
Then which one did?
Obeda Samoa one, you remember?
I'm asking you a simple question.
I
Please
am
listen to
saying-
my question and answer.
I am saying-
I'm asking you, did you think it needed a public probe?
No, it depends.
Because they were politically exposed persons. Do you think so?
It depends. Okay. If the government of the day find it expedient, they could have probed it. Where did you get the money in the first place? Obeda Samoa one, he ended up saying that it was NDC money. The matter even went to court and it became a very big case where they said the tribunal didn't have even the standing on the case and all that. And later on, the court ruled against that. But so, in concluding, I would say that this is a matter that is still in court. People are prejudicing the matter. People are saying all manner of things. I have heard some people say that, where did you get the money? The money is a stolen money and all those things. Somebody who is grieving. And then people are all over the place, throwing tantrum, saying all manner of things.
Saka, you didn't answer my last question, but
what was the
there are
question?
key issues. And if you look at the facts on the charge sheet, we have an individual, another individual, a former mate, and then a current mate. The only time they were caught, according to what the narration is, was when the husband of the former minister did find one of them in the bedroom. And it made everybody draw the conclusion there was more that could be seen. Why should the president take keen interest in this, Edwin Tamaklo?
So, you see, we are having to deal with the most corrupt administration since 1992. Akufo-Addo, who was in opposition, was so broke. Today, believes that the resources of this country are for him, his family, and friends. Everything that Akufo-Addo has touched, either the economy, energy, health, education, is in a mess. The only people who are not in any form of mess are himself, his family, and friends. So he came broke. Today he's rich. Ghana, that was solvent, very rich country. And he himself used to say, Ghana, I am obododo, nieti sikaso. Today, the Ghana that Akufo-Addo inherited, that vibrant, prosperous, resilient economy that he has taken, is now down, 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 insolvent. And he, Akufo-Addo, his family and friends are very fabulously rich.
How's this linked to the case?
You see, if this money belonged to any businessman in this country, nobody would talk. You see, ministers do what you call asset declaration. You know that?
Yes.
Good.
At,
Have you seen Madam's
550.
assets that she declared?
No, but
No, please.
Unless
please.
there's a problem.
No, please.
No, but he asked me a question.
So you see,
It's a rhetoric.
so you see, the reason why this whole Madam Cecilia Dape's conversation is terrible and it's a deep dent on the government you associate with. And you see, Saka, I am disappointed in you this morning. Few friends are sending me messages. They say, the Saka we knew that used to play in the Casfor volleyball team, is that the same Saka today? And I have always communicated with you since 2013 from GBC. People are running away from this mess. And this morning you want to come and do Zoom Lion work?
What do you mean by that?
No.
Look,
Hey.
don't insult the intelligence of Ghanaians. Never in your communication. Because always remember that once we communicate, the people watching are professors, doctors, PhD holders, among other things. Extremely discerning people. So when you communicate, don't insult their intelligence. But with that said, what is this whole Cecilia Dapa matter about? Do you know that this matter came up in October last year? Because in October last year, when these two ladies were caught, Patience Botwe and Sarah J., when they were caught, the young lady was just 17 years.
When she committed a crime.
Yes, Patience. So they were contemplating. So they decided to take her to the juvenile court because she's a minor. Last year. And charge her with unlawful entry. Even at that time, not stealing, unlawful entry. Now, so when they charged her for the unlawful entry, they were waiting for her to turn the age of majority. So now that she is turned 18, then they decided to escalate the matter to the circuit court. Look at the circumstance, but for Chronicle, we're never getting to know about this. And you know what happened? In all of these conversations, many lawyers were contacted. But each time, they'll tell you, no, don't get involved because they want to do it in-house. Because the amount involved is over 53 million Ghana cedis. not what they have banded, more. Because they have recovered some of the monies from the accused person, then suspects. That is why they decided to put those numbers on the charge sheet. The bizarre aspect is that.
And you are getting this from verifiable sources.
I mean.
You're a practitioner.
Yes.
Okay.
You see, the other thing is that if you look at this whole mess, do you know that Madam Assad now cannot even tell the quantum? Because this is not a one-day conversation. The stealing is supposed to have taken place from July to October 2022. So they were taking it bit and bit and bit and bit. Now, when this whole scandal broke up by the Chronicle and the story came, and the public uproar, they quickly put up a story for her. And I'm aware that key government officials met and said, one, she didn't inform them that she was going to court. If not, they would have stopped her. And so what they are going to do by way of PR is that, and to further insult the intelligence of Ghanaians, are that they will say that the amount stated on the facts supporting the charges is greatly exaggerated.
But this is coming from a formal statement that she issued.
Yes, that's the point. No, so this conversation happened before.
And that informed the statement.
That informed the statement. And that is why, if you look at the statement carefully, you notice that the statement is not coming from her.
Why do you say that?
Look at the inconsistency. So, I wish I have the statement.
Don't worry.
If you look at the statement,
I'll put the statement on the screen for you.
See how she labels her Cecilia.
Yeah, the first one and then
the first one. Now, on the statement itself, look at how the Cecilia was spelled. If others cannot spell your name, what about you yourself? And so they basically just drafted a statement and gave it to her to do what? To sign. And prepared a so-called resignation letter for her to sign. And I'm aware of this because as early as Friday, I'd already picked the information that this is how government intends to move on the conversation because of the damage and the dent to the reputation of the government. So clearly, if you even look at the statement coming from her, you begin to see the obvious inconsistencies. Look on the very first listing, you see the Cecilia, how it is spelled.
Yes.
And
so the first one, the Cecilia is spelled as part of the logo, S-E-C-E-L-I. Now
go to the body.
Now it reads, I'm sure that we'll put it on there, the first letter, the one that's a statement from Cecilia Abnadapa. I refer to publications dated suggesting that I own $1 million, 300,000 euros, and millions of cedis which have been stolen from my house. There are noticeable inconsistencies between what is being discussed in the public domain and the thrust of the original complaint on the matter. I am taking steps to examine the origins of the inconsistencies and will provide a detailed response in the coming days. And she signs. Now let's go to the second one. The second one then has the logo having the name altered or changed. So instead of the CE, now it is CECI. So it means that it's been corrected. And then she states her resignation. And then you find the signature at the end. So there's some level of also, if you look at the inconsistency.
Exactly. So all this one was a rash PR thing to insult the intelligence of Ghanaians. And I make
You didn't think it was genuine?
No. And you see, if you look at the posture of Akufo-Addo, the mother serpent of corruption, stated by his own appointee, Martin Amidu, what does he say? Akufo-Addo is now telling us, and consistent with his character, he says, I am confident, like you, that at the end of the day, your integrity whilst in office will be fully established. So even when no formal investigation,
No, you say what?
he said in the Akufo-Addo statement,
Please continue.
Akufo-Addo is
Yes,
accepting
yes,
her resignation.
Yes.
This is how he concludes, that I'm confident like you, that at the end of the day, your integrity whilst in office will be fully established, unquote.
That is confirmed, yes.
Yeah.
Clearly, even before any formal investigation would take place, Ghana's clearing agents has done his thing again.
What do you mean by
No,
that?
what do you mean?
He has effectively cleared the woman.
How?
How so?
Listen to him. He says, your integrity whilst in office, I am confident, will be established. What's the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this?
He's just being hopeful.
This is the,
Please go ahead.
He's just being hopeful.
Sakasalia.
Yeah,
this is a man. This is a
I'm
man.
just adding
And
to
the point I'm making
Don't
is
start
that
the strategy of the interjection.
the point I'm making is that consistent with the character and make of Akufo-Addo, he had already gone ahead of us to demonstrate his confidence that the woman's integrity will be established, even before any formal investigation is even set up. I mean, what is this? This is the same man who decided to clear Akonta mining.
Are you saying that prejudices the matter?
I mean, when the man says your integrity will be established, which one of these his appointees can give a contrary view?
I'm confident, like you, that at the end of the day, your integrity whilst in office will be fully established.
Yes. And you see, I say this because, and I make the point, that it is consistent with the character and make of Akufo-Addo. One of the topmost scandals to have happened to the Akufo-Addo's government was the Moving bust scandal. You remember? Involving Alfred Obeng. When that scandal happened, the energy minister then, Boakye Jaku, set up a committee to investigate that scandal. They quickly told President Akufo-Addo that Boakye Jaku was doing that because he didn't like Alfred Obeng. Once a formal investigative panel was working, the president constituted national security to go and investigate. The national security now comes out to say Alfred Obeng went through the procurement, everything. Unknown to them, Alfred Obeng had gone to Atinka FM to say that he dispatched the oil. He didn't go through any formal procurement. That is how Akufo-Addo has operated his government. You have also listened to Boakye Jaku, his interview, the 21-minute explosive interview. When the journalist asked him, you resign, he said, no, I was asked to resign.
Yes.
He also tells us how Akufo-Addo's, whether cousin or nephew, Mr. Gabi Asare-Chidakun, without any formal government position, was dealing with government official business. And when he questioned him, Gabi asked him, do you think I'll be doing this without the express authority of the president? We saw how his intervention in Atinka mining, because it involved Chairman Wontumi. The point I'm making is that, consistent with Akufo-Addo, all scandals around him must be cleared.
Ideally, how should he be dealing with this?
I mean, for him to even say in the acceptance of the resignation, applauding the woman, it means that Akufo-Addo doesn't see any wrongdoing. He doesn't see any wrongdoing. He considered this to be a very normal, because Akufo-Addo has normalized corruption. See, the money involved, even on the face of the charge sheet, is how much? Over $1 million, 300,000 euros, and then other CD, whatever. The prosecutors could not even put a figure to it. And if you find out that this woman is now claiming that there is inconsistency, do you know what she is effectively doing? She's imputing the integrity
Of the prosecution?
Of the prosecution. And you see, when it is established by a complainant, and remember that she's the complainant. If you look at the charges, you see, if you pick a charge sheet, there are the particulars and then the fact. On the particulars of the offense, the count, they say the property belonged to her.
Sure.
And they state the amount. Now, the jurisdiction of the circuit court is invoked by the charge sheet. Now, if the complainant is saying that as a complainant, I never said 1 million of my money was stolen. But it is the prosecution that had decided through imagination to put that number there. Do you know what you have done?
That is not what he said.
You have effectively impugned the integrity. And remember that as far as the Constitution is concerned, go to Article 88 for me. It is only the Attorney General that has the power to institute criminal proceedings in this country. The police are only doing it for and on behalf of the Attorney General.
But I didn't blame
Oh,
police.
hold on. Now, so when you say that the number that was put in the charge sheet invoking the jurisdiction of the court is a work of imagination, it's fictional, it is not true,
And
inconsistent with what you, the complainant, gave to them, effectively, you are impugning the integrity. If these prosecutors have any respect for themselves, what they should be doing is to withdraw the entire charges against the accused persons. But you see, it is a very consistent character within this government. Look, even when you see them, you like they are caught stealing. They will say, no. We're only taking it. As for stealing, they didn't want you to use it. We were only taking it. We'll return it. And so the point ought to be made that at this crucial point, where pensioner bond holders, people who decided to live a certain lifestyle, a lifestyle of savings, they could have put the money in their homes. They said government needed this money. Let's go and buy Esla PLC bond. Let's go and buy Dachi bonds so that government can get money to build schools. Government can get money to retire the legacy debt in the energy sector. The people who gave their money to government, what did government do ultimately? Government had defaulted in paying these pensioners. At the same time, 68-year-old Madame Cecilia Dapa, also a pensioner, decided not to invest in government bonds, but to keep her money at home. Today, pensioners are not able to get money to buy simple BP drugs, BP medication, diabetes medication, simply because they invested their money in government bonds. And a minister of state who is supposed to know better was keeping her money at home. So once your debt is being restructured, she is keeping her money at home. Now get it. If Madame Cecilia Dapa has $1 million at home, can you imagine how much Akufo-Addo has under his bed?
Well, somebody will say that's speculation.
No, I'm just saying. Can you imagine how much? This is Bola minister. She has $1 million plus, 300,000 euros. Can you imagine what Ken Ofori-Atta would have? Look, you guys are taking the patience of Ghanaians for granted. Your everyday conduct is undermining the 1992 Constitution. And the earlier you guys sit up, the better. People are getting impatient. People are getting worried. With the debilitating economy, your corruption is at the worst stage. Why would you be doing this to Ghanaians? Why would you be doing this to Ghanaians?
Now, Saka,
this is not what Ghanaians voted for.
Now, Saka, the call is that, and it's on the streams, that the president needs to put together a committee to ascertain the source of this money from his former appointee and then declare this publicly.
Yeah,
or publish it publicly by way of its report.
Yeah,
What do you say to
if you listen to the acceptance letter from the president, it's as if he intends doing something about it. And that's the reason why he was hoping that he has confidence in her.
How do you come to that conclusion?
That to that conclusion that he has confidence. Yeah, if he did not have confidence in her, I don't think that he would have even
Please
appointed.
put the president's letter.
I don't think that he would have even appointed her in the first place. So the president didn't do anything wrong. It's just like your word is going to write exam. You say that I'm confident you will pass. It is because of the confidence you have in the person. You can. Yeah, that's exams. If she is going to be probed as to how she acquired that, if somebody has confidence in her, the person can express that. There's nothing wrong with that. If you talk about the president is the most corrupt president in Ghana's history, I mean, can you imagine this?
Have you looked at the anti-corruption?
No, I haven't looked at it.
Okay, please.
Have you? You see, can you imagine? I mean, somebody coming from
the worst rating
from the stables of John Mahama saying that Nana Addo is the worst president when it comes to corruption. We are talking about John Mahama here.
Saka, if you look at the president's letter of acceptance,
yes,
where in this letter does it state that he intends committing to forming any body at all?
Yeah, if the president
in terms of a public body to investigate this.
You read it so that when we get there, I'll tell you.
I should read it for you.
Yes.
Okay. It says, "I have received your letter dated the period." Resigning from office, and then moves forward. I accept your resignation and I applaud your loyalty to the image and standing of the government. Now, he goes forward to say that the work you undertook during your period in government was excellent and productive.
The last paragraph.
And I thank you for your wholehearted contribution. And then go. Now, the paragraph that we've underlined it for you. So
yeah.
I am confident, like you, that at the end of the day, your integrity whilst in office will be fully established.
Yes. So
are you inferring?
Yeah, I'm just inferring.
Okay.
Because what integrity is he talking about? He's talking about because as at now, her integrity has been brought to question. And that if in future or even presently, any probe is instituted into the matter, he is saying he is confident that her integrity will be established. So the president did not say anything wrong. Where I was talking before you interrupted was when Eduji Temoklo called the president the most corrupt president in Ghana history. When John Mahama is still alive. Can you imagine that? If I want to, you talk about Martin Amidu calling the president mother serpent of corruption. You remember Martin Amidu said that his ideology, because he is an anti-graft person, and that the NDC under John Mahama was in complete contrast with his ideology and that he cannot work with them. Remember, this is the same person who even wanted to beat Professor Moss whilst in office. It has to take intervention of senior members of the NDC to resolve the matter and all that. So don't use Martin Amidu words here in order for you to impute some corruption allegations on the president. You talk about Bachi, Ajako, and then what happened with Gabi and all those things. I mean, in that particular,
have you watched the interview?
Yeah, I listen. I watched the interview. I mean, it was completely unnecessary. That interview.
You mean it is untrue or it is completely unnecessary?
First of all, any person with average reason would throw that interview away.
You are more reasonable. You are more reasonable and intelligent.
No, I'm not.
But that's what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I threw it away because, first of all, there was no any occasion that Ghana incur any financial losses.
I see.
That is number one. So in that regard, the interview was completely unnecessary. Secondly, he said that Gabi went and formed a rival committee. And then when he called the president, Boachi Jaku called the president asked that they should take the recommendations to him and into the established committee. So at the end of the day, whatever that he purported that Gabi did.
Please speak to the subject.
Eventually, because when he was talking about that subject, you didn't ask him to speak to the subject. So it behoves on me to clarify things based on even exactly what Boachi Ajako said. Boachi Ajako said that the president asked that recommendation should be given to the standing committee, that committee. So eventually the committee could have thrown whatever Gabi did or amend it or throw it away. So the final decision maker was still that committee. So, I mean, I didn't get it. And I was shocked that people think that this is something that is worth talking about. You talk about Moving Pina. The Moving Pina case, for instance, because there were two parties doing the investigation. At the end of the day, the National Security came out with, and all the allegations were complete lies. Even some of the allegations that the NDC threw at Ofra Obin were rather they themselves. You remember where your law firm, where you work, you people were instrumental in getting that moving peanut. The address and all everything was from your law firm. As you are sitting here.
Pina.
I'm telling you.
No. What are you talking about?
I will explain.
Moving peanut.
Yes.
You don't understand what you're talking about.
I'm telling you.
Please.
Who were the lawyers of moving
Please,
peanut?
go ahead.
We've never represented moving peanut.
You are so if you are oh Massa.
No, please go ahead.
If you are talking about integrity and of prosecutions and all those things, let me tell you. I mean, the woman did not see that she did not impugn the integrity of the prosecution. She was saying that what was reported and what is being discussed in the public domain, there's clear difference. There's inconsistency.
Have you seen the charge?
So, yeah, I've seen bit and pieces.
No, I have the full one here. But
Yes.
Let me send it to you. But at the end of the day, you haven't seen the charge sheet.
No, it's not about the charge sheet.
Consistent with the charge sheet
Yes.
are the amounts that she brought before the court as part of her complaint. And these are part of the facts of the case. And for her to come forward to say that the amounts being mentioned are inconsistent with what the real issues are.
She didn't say what the real issues are.
Okay.
She said what is being discussed in public domain.
It impugns the reputation of the prosecution here in the police, who, of course, are undertaking the investigation, and then will be representing the Attorney General also in court.
No, it
or the
doesn't.
state.
You don't know what, I mean, maybe we are discussing the real figures. It's possible some other radio station or something is discussing different figures altogether.
So you are saying that...
Yeah.
So you are saying that on one hand, she's referring to some sections of the media.
Of course.
And then saying that some sections of the media...
Of course. So until she comes out.
No, I just want to know
what figures are we dealing with?
What figures are we dealing with?
What she said, I mean, one can decipher what she was talking about. She said that what she reported to the police is quite different.
So I'm asking.
There's inconsistency. There's inconsistency with what is being with some of.
So she's saying the police is lying.
You heard her say that.
But that's what you're saying.
No, she said there is inconsistency between what she reported and what is being discussed in the public domain. It is possible the police release the correct amount that she talked about, but some mischievous radio stations are using different figures. These are possibilities until she comes to explain the inconsistencies. You cannot just jump to the conclusion that she's impugning the integrity of the police.
Roland.
That's the point I'm making. Oh, please, that's the point I'm making. But let me go back to this point.
Which point?
Of the fact that just because somebody...
When is the president going to set up the committee?
No, I haven't told you the president is setting a committee.
You said from the statement.
I am sure that the discerning listeners are listening to me. I'm saying that one can decipher from what the president said that either now or in the future, or some other body might want to know or impugn certain integrity of her, and that in the course of time, her integrity will be cleared. That's what it meant. I haven't told you categorically that the president said he's because look, as of now, we are creating and manufacturing scandal because nobody has come to say that his money is lost. She has not been impugned or she has not been indicted in any financial situation in this country. Nobody has said that she stole his or her money. She rather lost her money. And all of a sudden, let's probe her. Because the money is too big for her to have.
Is it not because she's a public person?
And therefore should not hold money.
And so her actions and inactions should come under some level of scrutiny because she's in government.
So what is her action that you think that people should impugn even her integrity? I know this is a very sensitive thing because of how
the courts.
Listen,
it's
because
not sensitive.
No, I'm telling you, she being a politician. Like I told you,
it is not a sensitive matter.
Every move of yours, every move of yours is read wrongly because you have money. You are holding money. So people think that the money that you are holding is public money. Are you telling me that if Energy Temoclo today, if your money got lost, just because maybe you work with a public officer, John Dramani Mahama. People can then jump into that conclusion. Never say anywhere that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is the most corrupt. Let me make this point.
Okay.
Never sit anywhere and make that point again, because John Dramani Mahama, when it comes to corruption, is the most corrupt president in our fourth republic. The evidence are there. His regime, the number of people that have been incarcerated, he himself as a person.
Please
look at a president who was a vice president, who was a sitting vice president, having something to do with for the expedition. Look at the matter with all the Airbus matters and all those things.
Please
Has Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo ever personally been indicted in such anything as grievous as that before? So don't come and sit here and create your own questions and answer them, and want to create disaffection for the president when everybody knows that this president, we are not saying he's an angel, but in comparative terms, when it comes to John Dramani Mahama and the likes, he's by far better. Okay. And it has shown in his deed, it has shown in the development agenda of this NPP government, in the free SHS, in all the development issues, Agenda 111, you talk about ambulances and all those things. John Dramani Mahama cannot even come close.
Yeah. All right. Now, at the end of the day, how swiftly do you want the president to take action on this?
You see, my brother here sits here and once again confirms and validates the point that this is the most useless government that we've had since 1992.
Yeah, why are you using the word useless?
Your government is so useless that you are saying that John Mahama is corrupt. But in 7 years, you have not even invited him before an investigative panel chaired by Sakasali. Not me. An investigative panel set up by you so that at least you can probe him. In 7 years, you are very useless.
Oh, you are insulting me?
Not you. I mean your government. It's a very useless government.
And so if NPP should be useless, how about NDC?
Beyond being
NDC,
corrupt.
Hold on. Please.
Beyond being corrupt.
Ask him to withdraw that word.
No.
That word, if I start to use it here, the program
you can go ahead.
Okay.
But
ask him to withdraw and apologize.
Because you see,
no.
Hold on.
No,
give another.
Don't allow it. If not, I will use it throughout the program.
When something is of less use,
I will use it throughout the program.
If something is of less use,
okay, I will use it. Don't worry.
The point I am making is that Ghanaians gave you their mandate on the 7th day of December 2016. You have kept this mandate for almost 7 years. You have the most corrupt person. He had not traveled. He's been living with you for 7 years. You have no shame. You have no shame.
He's been living with us anyway.
So if you claim that he's the most corrupt,
he is.
There are institutions here in Ghana that have the mandate to deal with such matters. You have never invited John Mahama to Shraj in 7 years. CID, 7 years. Whatever, Yoko, or whatever, or even Nogoko.
But you know that this is a criminal
in
matter.
7 years, you have never.
That can at any time be.
No,
be
you see, when I say your government, hold on. When I say,
I have on the line a founding member of the NPP.
No, hold on.